Hey everybody, here we are. I am so excited about this class. Okay, so if you're watching this on replay, drop the word replay below. I have to link this, but think about something. How would y'all feel if you could start expanding your business online? If you could find tips and techniques and tricks to organically, i.e. free, grow your business online. That's what we're here to talk about today. Hey Jessica. I am going to be sharing with you guys the things that I've been doing over the last 6 months to take my business that I grew through home parties online. So we're going to start in just a minute. We're going to make sure people are popping on. I am going to go link this video into the event. So I want you guys to tell me, hey Sarah, while we're linking, tell me why you're here. So I know some of you already, but if you're watching this on the replay, tell me really what are your challenges in growing your business online and what is working for you well. And I want to make sure this video is working before we really start sharing. Hey Annette, I'm going to go post it in the event and then we're going to get started in just a minute. So thank you guys for being here, but just really think about that. You know, if you could find an additional way, and I'm not saying it's the only way, but if you can find an additional way to start growing your business, reaching out to people that aren't just within a 60-mile radius, because that's often our limitation when we're physically growing a business is we can only reach so many people. So what we want to do is start thinking about what are some ways that we can successfully grow online, okay? Because there's a lot of ways to unsuccessfully do it. And I'm going to share with you some things that have worked for me. I'm going to share with you some things that have not worked for me. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that my team has done. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Jen. That are working, and other things that I've seen that I don't really suggest spending your time doing. So I've linked this into one group. I've got to link it into the event, and then we're going to get started. My goal today is that you walk away with some solid information and steps that you can take today. Hey, Linda. Things that you can do right now. So what I really want you to be able to walk away with is after this is over, like literally as soon as it's over, you can leave and find a couple of things that were useful to you that you can start implementing. Now, here's what the most important part is. You cannot do it all, okay? So over the last 6 months, I have been learning a lot, and I did not start off by doing everything I'm going to share with you today. I think what the most important part is find something. Hey, Carrie, thanks for joining. Find something that speaks to you today that sounds exciting, that you can implement into your business and your life without taking away from the most important things. So we're going to talk about that. Thank you for joining, Carrie. Okay, the only thing I'm having a problem with is adding this into the event. So I might just get started and hopefully people will figure it out. They should be able to. So anyway, thank you all for joining. Jen, Stephanie, Jessica, Sarah, I know all you guys, Linda, hey, and Carrie, welcome. So Carrie, are you on Linda's team? You guys, this is for all businesses, so I'm not going to be specific to my business today. I'm going to talk about all businesses, but a lot of you guys know the business that I do. And a lot of this can be applied to any business, but especially if you're doing like a network marketing business, or if you're doing a business online. Hey, Celia, but it also could be applicable to branding any kind of business, because if you're a brick and mortar business, some of this will be useful to you too. Sarah, I shared it to the group too. I was trying to get it into the actual event, but I cannot. So I'll tell you what, if y'all can't figure out how to get to my page when I posted the live is right here, then I guess we have different training that we need to do. I'm going to say the live is is going on now, and we'll get going. Celia, yeah, the replay will be up. Okay. www.facebook.com. My dog is walking around, and so now we hear dog clicking toes. So let me share with you guys. Let's get started. The first thing I want you to know is growing your business online is not the only way. And I think this is so important because people think, oh, that's the way I've got to do it. These other methods aren't good. You guys, I grew my business through home parties. And I went to the second level from the top of the company through home parties. This was in 2006 when I started. There was no social media. And if you are on my team, or if you're in another business, y'all know plenty of people who did not have access to what we're going to talk about today. So please know first, don't stress yourself out if you don't enjoy social media or you don't enjoy online growth. So first, be true to you. I have a girl on my team who told me from the beginning, hey Faith, told me from the beginning, I am not doing virtual parties. I'm only going to do home parties. That is great. Guess what she's doing? She now has either 3 or 6 virtual parties booked for this month because the truth she told herself was, I'm not going to do virtual parties because that's a scary thing. I don't know how to do it. It's waters I don't know how to navigate. The reality is you can, it's just new. It's just a new skill. So maybe this could be in addition to your home parties or your brick and mortar business or however you already market. But there's going to be, I think, 5 or 6 different ways that I'm going to teach you to grow your business online. And I just need to make sure y'all understand this is not the only way. For me, it has become the main way. So in 2019, after a time away from my business, I actually had taken some time away from my business. I had inherited a family brick and mortar home care agency. When my mom passed, the business was in a bad way. I stepped into that business. I took away time from my current business and I chose to invest my time over there. I then sold that business, and for 1 year, so the whole year of 2018, I thought about coming to the business I do now. But you know what I kept saying? I cannot grow it that way that I did initially. I don't have time to do the home parties anymore. I'm a mom of 4. I'm 41 with a mom with 2 little kids, 2 teenagers. I can't invest the time outside of my house like I used to. There has to be another way. That's when I talked with my friend in Upline, and she said, we're doing a lot of things online now. And that's when I said in January 2019, if I'm coming back to this business, I am going to have to do it online. And there wasn't a lot of people doing it online the way I do it. Not in our business anyway, but I've seen other people doing a lot successfully online. So coming back now, I would say 90 to 95% I do behind my phone here. And now I'm gonna have to let my dog out. Gosh darn it, dog. Let's see, let's walk together. Let's go let the dog out together. Okay, so coming back into my business this time, this is one of the advantages. You can go let your dog out. I do the majority of everything online, and I have spent 6 months following everybody. And so you guys, I'm just one person. I'm not an expert. I'm not somebody with some kind of written program. I'm literally a mom. I used to be a school teacher. I used to be a business owner, and I have navigated every water that I can to find methods that work online. I have taken all the free information from all the top people that I can. I don't know where that shadow is coming from. So I'm going to share with you what's working for me. If this is not working for you, that's okay. If you have ideas, tips, tricks, please share them. We are here to learn together, okay? So I have done everything organically, which means I've not invested money into the information I've taken that I'm sharing. I've found people that I've really been like, ooh, maybe I should buy that program. Maybe I should buy that, whatever. But there's so much free content online that I haven't done anything like that, okay? So let me tell you this, hashtag GTS. Will y'all post hashtag GTS? Because the number one thing that has helped me is when you get off this training and you're like, ooh, what did she say is the best way to do a virtual party? Ooh, what did she say is the best way to post on social media? Y'all Google that stuff, okay? If you're like, I don't know how to set up a group, I don't know how to do a fan page, everything is at your fingertips, okay? So instead of messaging me and saying, hey, how do I do an Instagram story? Google it first, because the biggest thing that I know to be true is, thank you guys, the biggest thing that I know to be true is everything that you want to know how to do, if you are motivated, you can go find it. Now, why did I do this training if that's true? Because there's so much out there that it's like mass overwhelm. So I'm gonna bring it down for y'all. I'm gonna give you the key things, but when we get done, I have not given you the all-inclusive lists of everything. So you're gonna still have lots of unanswered questions. If you're on my team, we have a lot of this like more consolidated and in depth. If you're not, it's just a starter for you. I do have, I'll refer to some lists and stuff I can give you. Okay, so first things first, other methods do work. This is just an additional method to build your business, or it can be the main method, but I still do home parties. I'll still do them. I just limit them to like once a month. You have to enjoy this. So please know that if this does not sound fun, any of this does not sound fun to you, social media, there's a couple pieces of it that will be like key business growing. And then there's a couple pieces of it that are more like, they take time to see the result. So if you're not having fun with this, it's just gonna be time invested that you're taking away from something else that could be more profitable. So know that on the forefront, especially when it comes to Facebook Live, Instagram stories, Facebook stories. We're gonna talk about how to do those. But if that is a huge learning curve for you and you don't enjoy it, do not start there, okay? You've got to find what sounds the most interesting to you, because that's what you're going to be the most excited about. I'm going to anticipate that a lot of us already do other jobs as well. So you're trying to do your side hustle and make it be your main hustle in the midst of kids and a job and a family and all the things. So you got to make this fun, and that I think is the only reason I'm loving social media and growing this way, is to me it is fun. Which direction should you go? So there's Instagram, there's Facebook, you can do virtual parties, we talk about branding ourselves, there's Zoom calls, there's messenger calls. I'm going to share all of that with you in this call. I did share with you that I've done this all organically. I have been learning and following and gaining information. Sarah, who's on here, Sarah actually was one of the first people to lead me to someone that I liked following. And I'll give you guys, if you want a list of all the people I follow and the podcasts that I listen to and the audiobooks that I've enjoyed, message me, or type in the word list below is probably the easiest. And then I can send you a list. But Sarah shared with me someone who was doing like free content for people who want to grow organically. And so I just kept listening and kept listening. And then when you listen to one, you learn about another. And so I have like all this information in my brain. So if you want my list of things I like, I'll send that to you. So organically. So let's talk a little bit about branding, because I think this is the most important one. I'm not saying it's the most important for results. I think it's the most important for, your understanding of what branding is. So if y'all know what branding is, it is not posting your product on your Facebook page. This is so important. Please listen to this. Please, please, please listen to this. When you brand yourself, you are not putting your company's product on your Facebook page. You are not doing a sale. You are not doing a promotion. When you brand yourself, you brand you, not your company. This is huge. Now, if you are your company, which most of us are not. So when I owned Morning Glory Home Care, I was my company. So I absolutely can brand that company, because that is me. So when you're sharing on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm going to teach you tips to do this, hear me so clearly, and this is the biggest thing I've learned. You will turn people off. You are going to lose people if you start branding your company, because companies are everywhere. Products are everywhere. People are over it. People are over the sales. They don't care about any of that. They want to get to know you, and you need to build that relationship. So branding is ginormous for you growing your business if you do it correctly, but branding takes time. So I need you to understand that when I started branding Kathy Callahan, not my company, but me, I started sharing with people my 4 to 5 core values. So start thinking about that right now. What are your 4 to 5 core values? What makes up you? Is it your faith? Is it your family? Is it health? Is it your business that we're talking about right now? Is it your job that you're trying to get out of maybe? What makes up you? When you think about what am I going to go post on my social media, your first job is to brand you, and your values are not mine, okay? My values are not yours. So they might be some the same, but some of you are really into like politics and stuff. Y'all be careful with what you're branding yourself with if you share too much of that. But you're trying to relate to people. Branding is about sharing you and branding you. It is not about barfing your company and your products all over your social media. When you do that, it's really hard to go undo that. And you want people to know, like, and trust you. You want to spark curiosity. You want to gain interest so that when you do offer your products or your company, they're like, oh, yeah, I've been seeing you kind of post some stuff, but I wasn't really sure what it was. And yeah, I'm kind of interested, but I don't really even know exactly where to start because you didn't give me those answers. Or I don't know how much it costs because I don't know. You guys, when you brand you build a relationship so that later on down the road, when you do offer your company or your products, people have not all the answers. They need to talk to you about that, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. Let me share one thing and work a little bit backwards real quick because I skipped a part. When you're deciding what to do next, if you're doing none of this, okay, I want you to think about one thing and I want you to pour into it. My example to this is there's Facebook, there's Instagram stories, which are their whole other world. There's YouTube, there's Pinterest, there's LinkedIn. Everybody kind of is finding their own way into which way they really want to grow as far as which platform. When I owned my home care agency, right after my mother passed away, the business had literally gone from, I don't even want to share specific numbers, but we had 50 plus employees at one time in the business. And when my mom died, we had 17. We had, 40, I think we were billing out like 42 clients a week when before she died. As the business dwindled while she was sick, we got down to 12 clients, okay? So I take over this brick and mortar business, and this is applicable, so listen up on this. This was so key for me. I looked at the business, which I was clueless in. So y'all, if you are clueless, you can do this. I am not a home care agency owner. I was the owner's daughter. I honestly wanted nothing to do with it, but now it was my job to grow it, and I didn't know how. So what I first did is I looked at all the platforms, not literally like you guys get to with social media, but I looked at all the counties that we served. And I was like, okay, we can grow this business in 4 counties. So parallel those to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Let's pretend those are your 4 counties. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to grow a little bit here. So I'm going to go to this network meeting. And I'm going to grow a little bit here. So I'm going to go do a little table talk at that. And I'm going to go do the healthy living fair at this place. And I was like this and this and this and this. A little bit here, a little bit there. Mass overwhelm, mass mileage, because it was when you drive places. And I met with a coach. She actually is a lady I used to babysit for. And she was coaching people and growing their businesses. And I'm like, I don't even know where to start. And she's like, talk to me about one of the counties. What does your business look like in that county? And I was like, we got a few clients in this city and a few clients in that city. And I'm like, but we also serve these other 3 counties. We are licensed in all 4 counties. She's like, doesn't matter. What does that county look like? You're not saturated in that county. What does this specific city look like? And she pulled it down to the city that was local to our brick and mortar business. And I'm like, yeah, we've got a few clients there. She's like, grow there first. Grow there, grow there. Take that county or take that city over before you take that county over. And then take that county over before you go to another county. So apply this to the various platforms. Pick one and do not stress yourself out, because this is what I did. Do not stress yourself out about the fact that, yes, there are people growing wildly over on Instagram and you have chosen Facebook. It's okay. There are people who are successful on LinkedIn and you've never even joined LinkedIn. It's okay. So my advice to you for mental clarity and your best success is pick one, do it well, then start learning more. You have to have a starting place. The mistake that I made, and if you've made this mistake and you can relate, please comment below. I came into the business in January virtually, online. I had done it, for so many years successfully outside of the online world. So what I got online and saw was, hey Audra, hey Michelle. I got online and saw, oh my gosh, that girl's doing Instagram stories and she has 4,000 followers. That's what I have to do. I have to go start doing Instagram stories and I have to find 4,000 followers. So guess what I did? I went to my Instagram account that I've never used in maybe 5 times in my life, and I started posting stories and I started finding ways to gain followers. And it's fine. I'm having fun with it, but it's not my main thing, okay? What I have found that I love is Facebook. I already had a following here as far as friends. I've learned how to gain more friends on Facebook. I like to do my virtual parties on Facebook. So pick where you are the most and also pick where your audience is. So my friends are not mostly on Instagram. That tends to be more the millennials world, right? I'm just not there yet. It doesn't mean it's only for them, but my business is not growing over there the way it is on Facebook. Sarah said parents are on Facebook, teens are on Instagram. Now here's what's important. You're going to sponsor people who want to grow on LinkedIn and Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And you might be choosing one avenue. I like to grow virtual parties. That does not mean that I don't know a little bit so that when the girl wants to do home parties, I can help her with that, okay? Just please know that. So does that make sense? Let go of the pressure that we put on ourselves that we're missing out on the growth over here because we're only investing time here. What's going to happen is if you choose your one thing from today, your one thing that you start getting really good at, then you can expand. And then you won't be overwhelmed. And then you won't have your eggs in 1,000 baskets, which typically we want to diversify. In this case, get good at something is my best advice, because I have probably spent an ungodly amount of time doing a little bit everywhere, and it finally occurred to me I just need to do a lot in the one place that's really working for me before I expand out. If that's helpful, please let me know. All right, let's talk about when you brand yourself. We're going to go into 2 pages of notes on branding. I'm going to reiterate that yes, you can brand yourself, but I would pick a platform and really just get comfy there. So if you're doing Facebook or if you're doing Instagram, you can link them. So currently I post over on Instagram and it feeds into my Facebook. But actually, did you know that when you do that, you actually, the algorithm changes. So you actually should post separately on Instagram and Facebook so that more people see it. I will be honest and say I still don't because y'all ain't got time for that. I'm honestly to the place where I think I'm going to stop on the Instagram and just test what's happening. I have not seen except one contact come out of Instagram for me, and I have over 1,200 followers over there, and I'm consistently posting. My relationship is much more built on Facebook for me. That's for me. So when you brand yourself, one thing that's important to know is there is a feed and there are stories, okay? So if you have a personal page, your news feed is where you can post, you're gonna brand yourself, and you cannot post like any sales, any products, any promotions like that. Your stories you can, okay? Now I know that people do it. I know that people are all over their news feed posting like, here's my special and here's my pricing and here's my, that is such a turn off, and it's not growing your business. If you got one sale from it, that's great, but I can't tell you how many people you probably lost by throwing up your business and your products all over them. So it's tempting. I still sometimes want to put, I'm like, oh, this is such a good special. I have to tell all the people. They're gonna miss out. But what I've learned is I have gained so many more people by branding myself, being vulnerable, sharing my life, so that later when I am private messaging people, they're much more open to it. So one of the rules for branding, and tell me if you guys understand this and what you think about this, you nowhere on your page should say your company's name. Now, like I said, unless you are your company. So Leslie does personal training. She is her company. I was Morning Glory Home Care. I was my company. With my company now, I do not own my company. I am a consultant for my company. So when you brand you sell you, right? Does that make sense? So you're sharing your core values. I'm going to give you some ideas on what you can be posting. You have to think like this. I also do a summer camp for kids. I also used to babysit. What else do I do in my free time? God, I don't know. I made hair scrunchies. I might go do that again one day. I sell for people on eBay. I used to anyway. I've taught college curriculum, teaching adults non-credit courses on how to set up their eBay account and successfully sell. Whatever you do, if you've branded you, people want what you have and what you're doing. If you brand your company, people probably want your company, but they are not loyal to you, okay? So they are like, ooh, that product looks great. And I really want that product. And did you see that sale? And now I'm gonna go Google and see if I can find it cheaper. Or I forgot that girl's name, so I'm gonna go look up the next whatever consultant. If you don't start branding you and taking the time to build relationships, provide valuable content, you are just another person that represents that company. So I need to move on for time's sake, but no company names because you don't own your company, and your goal is to create that relationship between you and your friends so that no matter what it is you're offering, they're interested. A goal of a social media post is to spark curiosity, to spark interest, to give value and content that people want, that they enjoy, that they want to come back for more. It is not a quick result. So this branding part that I'm talking about right now is more like in addition to. This is not the nuts and bolts of my business. This is not the trackable, I can for sure do this 25 times a day and get X amount of sales and X amount of consultants. It does not work that way. Branding takes time. So make sure you enjoy posting on social media. Make sure it's an area you're willing to grow and learn in. A quick story and then some posts that you should do. It is not a quick result. I have a new consultant on my team who I used to be a lifeguard with when I was 16. And somehow we became Facebook friends at one point. We become Facebook friends, and she out of the blue, messages me like, hey, what is this business you're doing? What are these products that you're offering? I've seen something about, healthy living or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't talked to you in 25 years. How are you doing? How did you find out that I was doing this? And she's like, actually, I've been following you for 2 to 3 months. She was the first person that reached out to me and said, hey, I've seen you doing this. I've been following you. I'm curious. She's like, I enjoy your videos. I feel like you're authentic, yada, yada. And of course, she's not a random cold contact. We knew each other from back in the day. But my point to you is when you brand yourself, that's what you're doing. Now, most of the time, my results come from when I message out to people. And I'm going to talk about how you do that. But then they're like, oh yeah, I've been seeing this. I've been seeing that. So please hear me clearly that branding yourself on Facebook is not that you get to go tell your upline, for 30 days I've been posting on social media and my business is not growing, because it's not a guaranteed. It takes, I'm talking 6 months down the road, I'm still doing this and I'm just starting to see more come out of it. Some of you are going to do it more efficiently and more faster. I've continued to learn more about what better posts are, so I'm going to share that with you next. Do it if you enjoy it, because it can be a huge time suck. We have a social media guide. If you are on my team, we have a complete guide already for you that you can access through our team website. It's a social media guide. I'm going to share with you a couple tips from it, and I'm going to tell you my favorite thing is follow the best leader, okay? The best copycat wins. When I was trying to decide what to post on my newsfeed, what to post in my stories, most of my content is not original. Most of my content I was like, ooh, I'm really turned off by what that person's doing. Note to self, don't do that. Or I really like what they're doing. I'm going to do that. because you guys, you have to be you. So what seems to be speaking to you? What language do you want to speak to other people? Go find someone who's doing that. So a lot of times on Instagram stories, in our business, we do have like a website where everybody can kind of share the things they've been posting. I just go copy some of that. Or if I see someone's story, I copy some of that. Original content does do better in the algorithm, FYI. So if you find a picture or a quote or something, if you can just like remake that quote, even if it's like similar words or just a different graphic behind it, that will actually be moved up in the algorithm better. And there's different like apps for that. I love just to use the Instagram stories and then save the photo, even if you don't post it in your story. Or you can do Photify. What's some other ones, you guys, if you're making graphics? Which ones do you guys like to use? So that's just a little side tip on that. But we do have a full social media guide. I'm going to give you a couple tips for the types of posts. Number one, if you're posting in your story, you want to post in your story 2 to 3 times daily. So your story's up at the top, right? So your story goes across the top, and they are predicting that stories are going to take over the news feed pretty quickly. Word swag. Thank you, Carrie. Stories, Facebook is making a lot of changes, and this is why it's hard sometimes to grow online because everything keeps changing. Stories are predicted to take over the news feed. So if you don't do stories yet and it sounds like something fun to explore, go across the top, hit the plus sign, and create a story. There's all kinds of fun ways you can edit that story. You can do a video. You can just do a still shot. 2 to 3 times a day, you're posting little parts of your life. When you're branding yourself, you're not talking about your product specifically necessarily, right? You're just talking about like, here's me doing my business call, drinking my drink that's helped me replace all my coffee. Amy, who has a social media guide, I will message you. That's on our team website. So if you don't have access to it, I'll give it to you. There's so much on there. I think sometimes it's hard to find what. In your stories, you are allowed to sell. And here's something you need to be very aware of. In your news feed, where you just type on your profile, you are not supposed to be selling. And people are getting by with a lot, but Facebook is really starting to crack down on what's happening on the profile page. And they're trying to shift people over to business pages because in Facebook, they don't want it to become Instagram. Instagram, everybody's selling stuff everywhere. Okay, Instagram has a different set of rules. But either way, if you're doing stories on Instagram or Facebook, 2 to 3 times daily. And you guys, I know this is not going to be all inclusive and you're still going to have questions. I'm just trying to give you some generals and then you can run with it, whatever, where you want. Consistently post in your news feed. So the part that scrolls down, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, once a day is recommended. Remember, you're branding yourself. They say that 1 out of every 10 posts should be about your business. Some people, like max, 1 out of 3 is okay too, but as long as you're like sneaking it in there and you're not barfing your business, people may not even necessarily realize these posts I'm about to share with you are your business posts. But make sure your page is not just all business. You've included pictures of your kids at their swim meet, and you know Jeremy's real into gold mining right now. So you're talking about gold mining, and we're talking about projects that we're doing for the summer, and and then here comes a little bit of business. In your stories, it could be a little bit more business and sales. I still am trying to steer clear of too many specific business sales up there, and I'm forming a group for that now. If you post on Instagram, you want to add 20 to 30 hashtags. A quick tip for that is open up your iPhone or whatever phone you have, create a note. Actually, you can do this within your keywords. Go into your shortcuts, Google this, hashtag GTS. Type in a keyword, and when you type in this keyword, it will you can put in the description on your settings what that keyword will pull up. So if I type in the word IG biz tags on my phone, it pulls up 30 business hashtags for my Instagram posts. So I don't have to keep copying and pasting them from my notepad, but you could do it that way too. No flyers or sales in your feed. So the part that goes down, don't be doing sales and flyers. You can do that only across your stories at the top. A couple of options for posting. there are all kinds of lists. I have a phenomenal, oh my gosh, message me if you want this. It is 6 must-have social media power posts. I did not create this. It's free content from somebody I follow. I started to write all this down. I'm like, it's way too much. I can just forward this to you guys if you're interested. But she has an amazing outline for the kind of posting we should be doing and not doing. In this thing that I can send you if you want it, she talks about 2 types of posts that most people do. And most of you guys are pitch posting or pounce posting. So if you need it, type in social media power posts. So I know what I'm sending you, okay? Social media power posts. Otherwise, I won't know what I'm sending you. Social media power post. She talks at the beginning about pitch posting, and she said when you pitch post, you are trying to post directly about your business, directly about your products, or directly about some promotion you have. And what this leads to is people feeling spammed and people blocking you. So don't pitch post, okay? Pounce posting is when you solely are asking a question just so that you can pounce on people. You're not asking a question authentically. You're being like, do you like chocolate ice cream or do you like vanilla ice cream? I just learned about this, so believe me, I'm learning with this this thought process because I for sure have done these. So pounce posting, you're like, chocolate or vanilla ice cream. So it's a conversation stirrer, but then as soon as people respond, you're like private messaging. Ooh, we have chocolate protein shake. Ooh, we have chocolate drinks. Ooh, it's like, then you just pretty much did the same as a pitch post. No pitch post, no pounce post. She shares with you 6 social media power posts that are amazing. Here's a couple of ideas for you guys to get started, and I can share with you that full guide if you want it. Transformation Tuesdays or Transformation Thursdays, if you kind of put in your calendar, there's all kinds of things online with like social media calendars, social media guide posts, all kinds of this. But an easy one is like a Transformation Tuesday or Thursday. So maybe on Tuesdays, you're posting a before and after. You're posting a success story. You're posting your own transformation. For 6 months, I haven't touched coffee. You're posting your own testimonial. That would be great. Testimonial Transformation Tuesday, Thursdays. You are not listing your company name. You are not listing products. You're sparking interest. You're sparking curiosity. Another thing that in the power post that I can send you, she talks about really like on celebrating the little wins. So like on Fridays, it could be like small win, and then you post a couple things that you've done successfully. Laura on my team did this within our a challenge group we're doing, and she's like, check mark, worked out today. Check mark, made her smoothie or something today. Check mark, something else and just her little successes, because you guys are like touching people with the business and the products when you do that, but it doesn't feel invasive like a sales flyer or join my business or all the things does. Does that help? I also have a couple other things. So if you're doing Instagram stories, I've got to get moving. I've got so much information. We got to be done soon here. If you are doing Instagram stories and you do things like polls, or you have people voting on things using those social media power posts for some ideas, you might have people, or if you have people like liking your posts, you might have people even start asking questions like, how much is it? I have some follow-up verbiage. I'm not going to go into it because we have to get moving. I have some follow-up verbiage for how you, good, Carrie, thank you. I have some follow-up verbiage for how you reach out to those people, and I'm gonna walk into it just a little bit here, but if you want more of, if you're on my team, you already have access to all this follow-up verbiage. It's already outlined, copy and paste. If this is unfamiliar to you and you want the follow-up verbiage for when someone does like your post, for when someone does comment, y'all, the purpose is to get some interaction, but if people are asking questions or you're sparking their curiosity, you do want to follow up on that, but you got to do it in the right way. So I have that verbiage. If you want the follow-up verbiage, just type in follow-up verbiage below. So you're going to do your social media post. You're going to touch base with people. When you do reach out to them, how do you reach out to them? So let's move into our reach out methods. Then we'll talk about virtual parties and Facebook Live, and then we'll be done. So when you're reaching out to people, you've sparked their curiosity. Okay, you've been consistently posting on social media. You've been branding yourself. People have been watching, whether you know it or not, they're watching. But They don't have all the information yet. So far, you've done your job, okay? So that's what you're supposed to do through branding. Now it's time to reach out. If you want the follow-up verbiage, put in follow-up verbiage below. How can you reach out to people? If you're on Instagram, you can DM them. If you're on Facebook, you can messenger them. We have something that's called the 5 key points to every ask. And if you're unfamiliar with that, it's a simple message that we send when we're messaging out to people to ask them to take a look, okay? Now, if you're like messaging because someone commented like, ooh, how much is that challenge you're doing? Or, ooh, or they answered their poll, I'll give you the different verbiage. I can send that to you. A quick example is I did a poll over on my Instagram stories, and it was like, how much time do you spend on social media every day? At least 30 minutes, or I don't know what the other answer was. So much I can't even count. And I was talking about growing a business online, and one of the guys answered the question. Well, the purpose is not just to have the poll. You need to follow up on the people who answered. So I messaged over to him, and I was like, hey, thanks for answering my poll. This is why I posted it. And I've already talked to him about the business before. And I was like, we've talked about the business before. I really think you should take a look at it. And he's like, that's why I answered the poll. Well, y'all, that's not why I thought he answered the poll. I thought he answered the poll just because it was a poll, P-O-L-L, poll. But I have shared the business with him before. I didn't think he was interested. A month later, he answers one of my polls. I follow up. He's like, yes, we did a business call. What day is today? I don't know, 5 days ago or something. And he's curious about the business. So these are just ways to spark curiosity. You have to follow up. It is so important. So follow up if you've done... Don't just post these ones that you're gaining information and gaining some helpful knowledge and then not follow up with the people. If you're doing colder reach outs, like you're looking through your list of people and you're like, oh, I've never messaged this person before, but I want to share my products or business with them. Kelly Turner is an example. So let's pretend, Kelly, you're a good example. Let's say I'm looking through my Facebook and I'm like, okay, Kelly has never messaged me about my business. Kelly's never responded on one of my posts, but she's someone I would like to share the business with. That's when we use the 5 key points to every ask. And we just ask people through Facebook Messenger. So I use this a lot to grow my business. Facebook Messenger, or you could do Instagram, but I just do mostly Messenger. A little 5 key point to every ask. We have it in our business already written for you, but it goes something like this. Hey, Kelly, it's Kathy. Listen, I thought of you because, Kelly, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, by the way. I'm doing a business that I really would love to share with you. I know you're already a successful business owner and you're super busy, but I also think you'd really love our products, and I know you'd be amazing at this business. I really just want you to feel comfortable telling me if it's not for you, but will you take a peek at it first? And Kelly says I'm good. And that's not actually how I met Kelly. I met her a little bit more directly. But what happens is when you send that message out and you've been branding yourself, okay? So if you send that message out, it's like, hey, Carrie, will you take a look at this? If you have been branding yourself, what I have learned over the last 6 months is I'm not rejected nearly as much. Can I say it that way? When I used to do my business and I started my business. I was a school teacher. I was a mom of one. There was no internet. Well, there was internet. There was no Facebook. And I opened up my Buzz book. And that was the book that had all the parents' names and numbers. And I opened up my wedding list. And I called these people. And I'm like, hey, I've started this business. This is what I'm doing. Will you book a party for me? But they had zero concept, background, touches, nothing. It was so cold of a call in the sense that they were my warm market, but they didn't know what I was calling for. The cool thing that I do like about branding is if you take the time to brand yourself well, if you post consistently once a day on your Facebook, once a day on your Instagram, 2 to 3 times in your stories every day, when you go send out that message that says, hey, I've started this business, I thought of you because I would love for you to take a look, feel comfortable telling me no, but hear it first. You know what most of them do? They already had a little bit of knowledge or curiosity because you've been posting and you've been branding you, but they don't know exactly what it is yet. And also, you've been vulnerable. You've been getting people to know you, like you, trust you. I've been so much more well received when I message out to people saying, will you just take a look, than I was with the phone calls. The other fun part is, if they don't answer, like I can't take it as personally because they didn't tell me no. Like I was on the other side of the screen. So tons of reach outs on Messenger, but do not spam people. Do not go through your Facebook list and be like, I got 200 friends and I'm sending out 200 messages. Y'all, if this is a lot, which it is a lot, and you need to go, the recording will be up. I am not done. I'm having way too much fun. I got to keep going. Let me share with you something about messaging people, except I already lost my train of thought. When they don't respond. Let's talk about that. And let's talk about not spamming people. In the beginning of my business, I was like, ooh, easy. 5 key points to every ask. I'm going to message out 88 people. And Celia and I were actually talking on the phone, and I was like, I messaged out 88 people this morning. Look at me doing such a good job. It's not that they weren't people that I really wanted to share it with. It was that I was really thinking of the people. You've got to think of the people first. Let go of, 200 people and all 200 people need what you have. No, they do not necessarily need what you have. They may. Let them decide. Offer it, but really bring in the offer authentically so that when you message over to Faith, if I can message you, if I can use you specifically, Faith, you stop and you really think, who is in my friends list, who is in my network that I really truly think would benefit from this, that I think would be interested, so that when you message out, you have an authentic reason for coming to them with it, okay? Now that's one part of it. The second part of it is when you mass message, let's pretend you did do it authentically. Let's pretend you sent out 88 authentic messages. You cannot manage 88 follow-ups and 88 replies and everything you just created. That was way too much. So here's what I'm going to recommend. 5 messages to new people every day. Bite-sized pieces. It's, hey Jen, it's okay that you might have 10 or 15 or 20 people that you want to share this with. My goal is 5 new messages every day, 5, and 15 follow-ups every day on my social media messages that I've sent out. 5, 15 post is something that I've taught my team. 5 new messages every day, 15 follow-ups every day, post on your social media platforms. So if you do social media, Facebook and Instagram, or if you're doing Facebook newsfeed and Facebook stories, 5, 15 post. I did not make it up. I learned it from someone on our team. I just liked it. It works well for me. If that is too much, narrow it down. 3 new messages and 6 follow-ups. I don't care. Just do something, but do it in a manageable amount. So when you send out those 5 messages, let's talk a little bit about how to follow up. And we can't go into all this today. We just don't have time. But when you message out and you say, hey, Jen, plus my phone said it has 10%. Hey, Jen, and we use the 5 key points to every ask, and we use the verbiage, and Jen doesn't respond. And y'all are like, see? I knew she didn't want it. I knew she wasn't interested. I knew this business sucks. I knew I suck. I knew our products suck. Everybody hates me. Nobody's responding. I'm quitting. That's an option. That's an option. You could do that. And you could tell yourself all those lies about the fact that Jen didn't respond to your message. If you have done it with Jen truly in mind, and you say, Jen, I know we don't know each other super well. We're friends on Facebook. I've been following you. I can tell that you live a healthy lifestyle. I don't know if you know, but I do a business with a company that's what we promote, is a healthy lifestyle. And I would just love to share this with you. Can I talk to you about what you're doing and share with you what I'm doing? And if it's a fit for you, great. And if not, you can tell me no, but at least get the info first. If you truly thought about Jen, when she doesn't respond, you're like this. Sucks for her. That's a bummer. Too bad she didn't message me. I have something that she could really benefit from. Change what you tell yourself, because you made up all these lies about why people didn't message you back, okay? So number 1, if they don't message you back, your business is not over, and you have to follow up. 12 to 24 hours later, what I typically do is just do a quick message. Hey Jen, it's Kathy. Not sure if you got that message, but I have you on my list of people to follow up with. You know what Jen just was like? Oh God, this girl's not gonna go away. I better reply. That's what a lot of people might think. A lot of people are also like, crap, I saw that message and I meant to message you back, but I was at my kid's soccer game and then one of my kids was barfing and cool. And what they might also say is, hey, thanks for thinking of me, not interested. Your only job is to move all these people that you're thinking of and you have them in a maybe column, is to get them over to a yes, I'll take more info, or no, it's not for me. And then your job's over, at least with that message. So all you're doing is offering the information. I love to do it through Facebook Messenger. It is the majority of how I have booked all my parties and phone calls. And follow up. That's it. That's all we're talking about with messages today. We don't have time to go into more, but if you want more on like, I don't know, how you respond to all these messages, what I do with my team is I just have them screenshot what people said and then they send it to me and I help them formulate a response based on our system. And that's what I do with my upline. I'm like, hey, she said this, help. And then I start learning good responses and I start learning to listen to people. And I start learning that what I have is not for everybody, not yet. Sometimes it's just not for them, not yet. And for other people, it's never going to be for them. I just have to know that I offered and let go of the rest. Faith, you're a great example. Faith is my friend from middle school. I offered her the products. She took a sample. I actually offered her the business and I offered her to host and she said no and she said no. And I was like, sad me. I took it personally. I was like, she's never going to talk to me again. But she did. She tried the sample. She got the products. She loved the products. She kept following me on Facebook because I kept branding myself, right? I don't know, a month or two later, she messages me like, hey, I would like some information. Faith, if you're offended by this, I'm sorry. But if you're going to do this business with me, we got to tell all the stories. I actually just wanted to know that I loved the products before I looked at the business. I've kind of been, whatever. And so then we did a business call and now we're talking about that side and she's on this call today. She said, oh, okay, I guess I'm safe. So just know that doing things, when you are doing this for other people, not for you, it's going to happen in their timeline and you have to follow up. That is your job, is to follow up. So Facebook Messenger, managing all the follow-ups can be a lot. So I send out 5 new messages every day and then I look back and I find 15 follow-ups to do every day. So it could be Faith who just got started on the products. It could be a new team member. It could be somebody who didn't respond to a message, following up. What do we do with those people? I like to book Facebook parties or I like to do Zoom phone calls or Facebook Messenger video chats to get people to take a look at my business. So you've branded yourself, now you're reaching out to people and you're saying, hey, will you take a look at this? And they're like, yeah, cool. The best way is if they'll just do a quick video chat with me, and I like to get my upline on with me. So if you have a business like mine, it is best to have that third-party validation. It does a couple things. Jen's like, yeah, I guess I'll take a look. I'm like, cool, can you talk at 6 o'clock tonight? This just happened with Jessica. We did a virtual party last night. Some girl that we don't know, the hostess invited someone. We did our follow-up message after the party. The person instantly responded, yeah, I'm interested in hosting and the business. I said, ask her to do a phone call right now. Can we do a phone call? She can't do it till 6 o'clock tonight. So we're going to do it at 6 o'clock through Facebook Messenger video chat. So Jessica goes into Facebook Messenger. She sets up a 3-way message with me, Brenda, and Jessica and just says, hey, talk to you guys at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, she hits the video button and now we're all on the screen together and we just video chat. That's what we do. I get on that call with Jessica because I want Brenda to see that Jessica is not alone building her business. We have a team doing this together, okay? Also, Jessica's newer into the virtual world, so I'm helping teach and train her and growing her business all at the same time. Okay, I'm so off the subject. Let's move on. But Facebook Messenger video chats are a huge way I share the business and the products. You can also do Zoom. I know some of you on here are familiar with Zoom and you love Zoom phone calls. Zoom is more organized because I can see you and you can see me like Messenger, but you can also have like your documents showing up. It's free. It's zoom.us. It's just a video chat service so that you can invite people to take a look at your products and or company outside of a phone call or a party. And then I funnel them down. I do like the parties. Okay. I have 2 subjects that we may or may not get time to fully talk about before my phone dies. Maybe I should go charge it. Virtual parties and business pages or your main page. So let's make this fast. Let's talk about parties. I love parties. Like I love them, like I would marry them if they were a person. I love parties. I built my business on home parties. Parties for me, doesn't have to be for you, but here's my theory. I do not know how to meet the people that you know in a more fun, easy, simple, profitable way than through parties. I don't know another way, okay? Unless you want to go pay, like, I don't know, something online that you can pay to have all these people driven to your website and all the things. Parties are free. Parties are fun. And parties are basically you getting a hostess to hand you a bucket of referrals. I don't like to ask for referrals. I'm not that direct of a person. So parties work really well for me. Y'all know what a home party is. So now what happens in the virtual world? I better go plug my phone in. In the virtual world, what we have done with our virtual parties is we find a person in our network to host a party. If you want party verbiage, I'm sure your team has it. We have plenty of it. If you need some simple asks to a party, maybe I'll put something together on that. But when you do a virtual party, you are asking someone to host a party for you. I do it through Facebook Messenger. So I send them out a message and I ask them to host. I'm not going to go through all that verbiage just because of time. And if they say yes, then I set up a party. I set up a party online. I coach them like crazy on how to invite people. And then at a specified time, we go to a Facebook party, okay? I am putting together right now a big training for my team on a new party method I've been doing. In the past, I've done the parties all through Facebook Live, which is fine, but y'all, I hate all these internet issues and phone dying issues. And sometimes my kids start getting sick or doing all the things they're not supposed to be doing right in the middle of my parties, and life is busy. So I have found kind of a different system to do Facebook parties, and I am putting it, man, my phone is like, trust, don't trust, trust, don't trust, trust the phone. My plug's not working. Sorry, my phone is, see, this is why Facebook Live sucks. Because when you have issues, you're on live. Carrie, I've just started doing groups, and Linda said she loves the new way I'm doing parties. Linda knows how I'm doing parties now. I have to change my direction, so hopefully my internet is still good. The other thing is I live in a small town. So Facebook Live, I have a lot of issues with Facebook Live because my internet's horrible. So I don't even know if this connection's good for you. Let me go down here and plug this in, and then we'll talk about parties real quick, Facebook Live, and then we'll be done. Okay, now I just have to, now I can sit. So when it comes to Facebook parties, oh, I'm coming back. See, my new party method is not through live, and I'm putting it together. So I'm putting this training together for my team. I don't have anything ready to share with y'all. I'm still learning through it. I'm testing it out, but do it the old-fashioned way if you don't have any new system or something else you like yet. Facebook parties, you ask somebody to host, you get a date, you go live. This is how I used to do it. You go live, and Jessica and I just did this last night this way because we don't have the full new system in place yet. You go live at a specific time for 30 minutes. You talk about your products, you talk about the benefits, you share a demonstration, you share some specials, and you thank your hostess, and you close the party, and then you start following up, okay? I have done a lot of these on this business page you're on right now. So if you want to see some of my parties I've done Facebook Live, just scroll back in my videos. There's tons of them on my on this page. So I'm not going to go into like all the details, but I do a group now, Carrie. I used to do an event. I'm not going to share a ton on until I have it perfect and presentable. I'm not going to share a ton on what I think is the absolute best for Facebook parties because I kind of like a lot of things. The events are great. The groups are great because they never close. The events are great because they have a specified date. The groups are great because you can schedule posts. The events are a little bit easier for people to find and all their mess of everything that they have. A group isn't necessarily an event, although you can schedule one within there. But let me just tell you, if you are not a fan of Facebook parties, I just more want you to know, instead of how to do a party right now, I want you to understand it is an amazing way to expand your network. You can do it through a group or event. You can do your lives, or you can do the videos. If you want the party planning, the party plan that I'm doing now, I'm building it out. That means I'm putting it together for my team. There's more to come. I do have my parties posted in my page where you can see. You can also request if you want to be added to some parties I have coming up, or I just did a group one. Actually, I've done 2 group ones with the new video method, and it's not perfected. It is not perfected. But you can kind of see how we're doing it. Linda's been on that party. So those groups, because the groups are still open, if you want me to add you to one of my past groups, maybe just type in the word add me to a party. I don't know, something like that. And then I can just link the group, and I think y'all can join it that way. And then you can see how they're a little different than the Facebook Lives. My Facebook virtual party, here's the beauty of it. What I do is not going to be what you do. And this is why people are like, oh, but tell me exactly what to do. We have an exact party system in our team, and I followed it to the T for 2 months. I did it exactly what it said. So if you are in my business, you have access to this virtual party. There's a full script. There is a full demo. There's a complete party setup. You just copy it. What I found for me is there's little parts of me that I wanted to add in there, okay? So you might go through the example party and go, perfect, feels just like me. Or you might be like I was and be like, this is missing. For me, I need to do this. That's what I started doing, and I started growing with the Facebook parties, and I started looking at the difference between groups and events, and I started looking at the difference between doing Facebook Live and recorded videos, and I grew with it, and I edited it, and I changed it for what works for me. There's definitely things I will teach my team to do and not do, and there's parts of it I'll leave open, because y'all, if we all do it the same, this is not of interest to anybody. We have to be speaking to our audience. We have to be speaking our truth. And so thank you guys. I will add you to the group if you requested that. Facebook virtual parties. The only other thing I'll say, just a quick success story. 6 months now I've been doing my business. I'm going to say like half of my team has come from parties. So what that means is I started with Jen Hibbets, my friend. And I said, Jen, I'm doing this business again. Don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to do some virtual parties. All I know is I believe in my business. I believe in my products. And I know you love me enough to at least hear me out. Will you book a party for me? I'm like, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up a Facebook event. I'm going to share the products. If your friends are interested, great. If not, no big deal. And you add the people, I'll do the rest of the work. And that's how I started, okay? The beauty of virtual parties, y'all, the beauty that I love is I do not get any sympathy sales. The home parties are so fantastic for touching and feeling and getting to know people and having that conversation on the couch. But I did not like the part where everybody felt like they had to order. And I make it very clear. If this is not for you tonight, please do not order, okay? But there's still the person that's going to go order their lip balm because they feel like they have to order to support their hostess. The cool thing in a virtual world, they just don't order. They just don't message you back. The people who are truly interested are instantly messaging me back. And they're not buying a lip balm, they're buying a full 30-day system. They are the people who are in it for change. They are the people who wanted what you had to offer. They stuck through the live, they listened in. The people who are still on this now, y'all, it's long, but you're like, I need what she's got. I want this, I'm sticking through it. I'm gonna ask for this list, I'm gonna ask. That's what's happening on parties. People, like, say there's 10 people on the party, maybe 3 do something, maybe. But I'm talking they are doing like $200 and $300 sets. They're signing up as consultants or discount buyers. So Jen books a party for me. She says yes. And she's like this, but I don't really know if anybody's going to come. And, you know, I've already told them all about it because I'm like, don't care. I just need to try. And at least I'm going to try and I'm going to practice and I don't care. Jen books a party for me. I do it out in North Carolina. The internet sucks worse than it sucks now. So I hope is it really bad connection right now? The internet is horrible. Like literally the party cuts. I have to go do a recorded video and post it. It's just dumb. It's stupid. It's horrible. I'm so mad. I cannot believe I did it while I was on vacation. I should have just waited. And then a girl books a party. A girl books a party and she does a party for me. And from that party, another girl books a party. And from that party comes 3 parties. And then 2 months later, from one of those parties, a girl that I didn't even know was on the party. I add people to my friends list. This is a little tip. I do friend the people that come to the party. Not everybody invited, just the ones that RSVP or add the group. I friend request them, and not everybody takes it back. I send them a little message like, hey, thanks so much for attending Bethany's party. I'm Kathy. I'm the Arbonne girl. I'll be sharing a lot with you on Monday night. Looking forward to meeting you. I friend them all. So this one girl, 2 months later, messages me. And she's like, hey, I'm ready to, in fact, I invited you, Megan, if you're here. I don't think you are, but I invited you on here. She's like, hey, I'm interested in your products or whatever. And I was like, who is this girl? You know, how do I know Megan? So I go back and I look and I'm like, Megan, she knows Melissa. And I was like, yeah, how did we get connected? And she's like, oh, I was at Melissa's, hey, Devin. She's like, I was at Melissa's Arbonne party 2 months ago. And I was like, oh, cool. She came to the virtual party. I friended her on Facebook. She started following my business page. She was watching some of my deals. And now the time was right for her. So do you all see how this is cycling back? You've got to do the work. You have to reach out. It is not just going to come to you. But when you're also branding yourself, you're building that trust. You're building that relationship. You're building that value. You're giving, so that when the time is right for the people to receive, you're there. Don't quit before payday, y'all. 2 months later, Megan comes into my business. She's ready for the products. I give her the products, and I'm like, maybe I should offer her to host. No, if she wanted to host, she would have asked me if she wanted to host. That's all. Maybe I should offer her. No, I'm not going to message her. I'll be so embarrassed. I'll feel like I'm being pushy. She just bought a bunch of stuff. I can't offer her to host. I'm like, dang it, just ask her to host. I'm like, hey, would you be willing to host a party for me? She's like, sure. I'm like, yes. Even if she would have said no, I would have been like, next. Cool. I'm not going to stress over the result. I'm just going to stress over whether or not I did the action. Megan books a party. From that comes Bethany. Bethany did her party. From Bethany comes Yvonne and Stephanie. Actually, did Stephanie come off? No, Stephanie comes off Megan. Bethany comes off. Anyway, so my party next Monday and my next 2 parties this month. Do you see how this is happening? Am I beating a dead horse? Y'all understand the value already of virtual parties. I cannot be in Virginia, Washington, Texas, Missouri. Where was our other state we just did a party in at one time? And I can't go to those houses. I can't afford to go to all those houses to do parties. But virtually, I did a party in 5 different states. And now I have customers all over. And I know some of you guys have these huge success stories. Rachel is my sis in Alabama. I cannot go down to Alabama and do a party. As much as I love Rachel, I wish I could jump on an airplane, but I can be like, hey, Rachel, will you get a few people together online? You guys, we can't go on and on. We have to move on. One last thing. Facebook Lives, and then I'm done, I promise. After today, I will send you the stuff that you asked for, and you guys just start implementing something. I wish that I had time to answer everybody's questions and all the things, and I'm like, I know this is such useful information, and that's why I decided to put this party together, or this event. Do you have multiple hostesses at once or individually? Carrie, I used to do multiple hostesses when I do Facebook Live because that's super easy. So I would book 3 and 4 hostesses at the exact same time on the exact same night. So if you're doing Facebook Live, that's a very great way to do it. You set up 4 different events. Yeah, Amy said you can do 2 to 4 parties in one night. So if you're doing Facebook Live, you can do, you're welcome, Caitlin. You can do, and I am going to talk about Facebook Lives here, and then that's it. Set everybody up at 8:30 next Monday. Like last night, we did 2 parties. Okay, so there's an example. Jessica had Robin and Ashley as hostesses. They have their own groups. So Ashley invites people, Robin invites people. It's running individually for the whole week before the party. You're posting once a day in your party, y'all. Not all barf and Arbonne, just once a day, sparking curiosity. Making those connections, hostess coaching. It comes time for the live party. When the live party hits, we go live somewhere central, somewhere like that's a public page. So if your personal page is public or if your fan page is public, then you can go live there. Then you just copy the link into the individual parties. So by doing that, you have more people on the live, but you might have 2 to 4 hostesses at the same time. You've got to run them in their own same group or event, or else it's very confusing. So if you had 4 hostesses to one party, I've done that before, but then I'm like, whose guest is this? And who does this belong to? And what if I got Megan to host by offering her this, but I got Bethany to host by offering her this? Let me tell you this, if you want, I think there's a huge need, a huge interest in virtual parties. Our team has a full system, like I said, but I have been editing it a little bit just for me, and I'm working with my upline to kind of create something to give to our team. If that is like something that feels like that is helpful to people, I want to know where the need is. If that's the main thing that y'all want help with, it's not ready yet. Once it is, and once I have a better system, I'm willing to share it. So if that's interesting to you, maybe you can just post something like, I'm really looking for more virtual party help, because then we can dive deeper. Like, I'm taking my team step by step. So right now, today, I'm posting, go get a hostess, here's how to get a hostess. That's what we did over the weekend. Today I'm posting, now you've got a hostess, here's how to hostess coach, here's how to set up the event, okay? And then step by step, now the event's set up, here's how to work with the guests. Here's how to work with your hostess to get more guests. Here's what to post in the group. Here's how to do the party. Here's how to follow up. If you really want more virtual party help, if you're on our team already, so Caitlin, this is what Sherry and I are working together on, is trying to kind of, because Sherry's really good at them too. So it will be coming, but we have to put it together in a system. If you're not on our team and you want that, just let me know that virtual party is something. I mean, everybody can let me know, but if you're on our team, just know that it's coming. And Jessica, you're in my group, so you're getting all the help, girl. Can we please talk about Facebook Lives, and then I'll let you go back to all the lives that you have outside of listening to me ramble forever. Facebook Live, you can do this in a couple ways. Facebook Live obviously can be how you do your party. So we just talked about Facebook Lives for your party. Where's all my Facebook Live notes? I don't know, so I'll just talk about Facebook Live. Facebook Live is how you can do your parties, but Facebook Live is also something that is very terrifying and exciting all at once. And you can be going live on your page about anything right now. So I recommend 3 times a week to go Facebook Live. Now here's a couple tips. If you're new to Facebook Live, like you've not done it before, and you haven't been branding yourself yet, you don't have a lot of following yet, you've got to keep those Facebook Lives short, because people don't care yet what you're talking about. 3 to 5 minutes, I'm talking short, because most people are going to watch it on the replay. Okay, so when you're getting into Facebook Lives and you're deciding to go chat with your friends about whatever, you want a catchy title. So remember that most people catch it on the replay. So whatever you title that as, they need to be like, ooh, what is she talking about? Play. And then you need to keep it short enough so that they decide if this is something they want to keep coming back for, which I never know. I just do what I do and I don't care. And then as you do more Facebook Lives and you're finding that people are watching, so you're seeing viewers and you're seeing interaction in them, then you know, okay, this is starting to grow. I can make my Facebook Lives a little bit longer. I'm learning how to share different content. You have to make them interactive. So in a class like we're doing today, y'all signed up for a class. You knew what you were coming in for. You're here for a purpose. I'm not as much like playing games and interacting and all that. On my parties or on my Facebook Lives, call for comments. So you are telling people what you want them to be doing. So, you know, if this is of interest to you, reply below with, I'm having fun. If you are new, let us know you're new. How do you know your hostess? You have to be talking. If you're doing a Facebook Live, not in a party and it's just on your main page, interact, talk to the people that come in, ask them questions. You have to be building interaction within that, and not everybody, a lot of people will just watch unless you tell them to interact. I always say, if you're watching this on the replay, drop the word replay below. People always type the word replay, but I promise if I didn't say that, they're not just typing like, hey, I'm here catching the replay. I do that just so I know who watched the replay, because it doesn't tell you, it just says how many viewers you had. So Facebook Live, 3 to 5 minutes in the beginning. You can make them up to 20 minutes as you really get better with them. 5 minutes max, 20 minutes most. Most people watch on replay, interact, and have a catchy title. I have all, you guys can Google this, but I also have 10 tips for a successful Facebook Live. I did not make it up. I just copied it from somebody. If you want that, type in Facebook tips. I will forward you all my resources. And my resources are not the end all be all. This stuff is all out there. Sometimes it's just organizing it and finding it and using what's most interesting to you. Remember, all in all, you're all about building relationships, getting people to know, like, and trust you. You will do better in the algorithm with videos, just so you know. And the algorithm is what pushes your content up so that most people see it. So if we're talking about Facebook or Instagram, they all have their own algorithms. It's changing all the time. One change about Facebook I'll close with, but you've got to get people interacting. Videos do best. Lives do better than recorded videos, for sure. And then where do you do all this stuff at, as far as do you do it on your personal page or your business page? Please let me end with this, and this is awesomely important. This is so, so, so important. Thank you guys for messaging about the Facebook tips too. Hey Mindy, if you have a new business and you have not been branding yourself on your personal page, you do not need a business page. Hear me so clearly, okay? There is a reason why you need a business page, but not yet. In fact, there's a reason really why you need a business page, but not yet. So I have too many team members who start their business, which already they've added something new into their lives just by starting a business. They're navigating social media waters. They're trying to figure out how to brand themselves. They're trying to learn how to do virtual parties. They're trying to learn how to overcome the objections that we face in a business like this. They're trying to get on team phone calls so they can stay connected. And then they also try to go start a business page. And all you do is create another piece of work for you that will not pay off right now. A business page serves zero purpose when nobody is following your business or following you. Okay, so a fan page is what it's called. You're gonna just start on your personal page, please. Do not stress yourself out about all the benefits of a fan page, because there are a lot. But don't stress yourself out about that yet. Build on your personal page, because you're not trying to sell anyway. You're just branding you. You're sharing your life. You're making your protein smoothie and you're feeding your kids the spaghetti squash that you just made, and it's all connected to your business, whatever your business is. That's mine. But it's all connected to what you're doing. But you're not saying your product name. You're not saying your company. You're not saying join me. Later on, you might make an offer, but right now you're just branding yourself. As people are watching you, a good indicator. It is not time to move to a Facebook fan page if you have zero interaction on your Facebook Lives, okay? If you have zero people commenting on these posts that I can send you from that 6 Power Posts thing. If you have nobody coming, hey Pam, if you have nobody coming, nobody interacting on the main place where you have people, which if it's Facebook, it's your Facebook profile. If nothing's happening there, really nothing's gonna happen on your business page. So on my business page, I've been doing this business a long time and I have over 450 people. Probably only 10 are interactive over there. That's just truth. Like, you're on it now. We're building more people over here, but there's not many people interacting on my business page. But if I go do a Facebook Live on my main page, 20, 30 people are in and out. I do it over on my business page, 2 to 3 people. So that tells me that I've done a good job over on my main page, and I've got to figure out what's working over there, what's sparking the curiosity, and then I've got to move the people over to the business page in time. There's a whole lot of information out there on the internet of how to launch a business page or a fan page. You literally launch it. You don't just open it and add people. You build the curiosity, you build the content, you brand yourself well. You're doing it over on your personal profile. You're consistently posting. You're consistently going Facebook Live if you're willing to navigate those waters. 2 to 3 times a week with your Facebook Live, doing short lives. Best time of the day, 6 to 9 in the morning, 6 to 9 at night. Be consistent if you can. Y'all will see that I don't do a thing because I am not up at 6 to 9 in the morning, and I'm usually doing parties at 6 to 9 at night. So I just go live whenever I can. But Consistency is best as much as possible. You're finding that you can consistently build yourself and your brand on your main page, and now you want to move into a fan page. The girl that me and Sarah follow, she talks a lot about how to launch it and have an event. Like, I'm launching my business page and y'all need to come over there. So it's a big deal. So just please don't stress yourself out about having to have a fan page. One thing I'll end with is, because of the changes in Facebook, they are going to start driving you traffic that are people you don't know over to business pages, and they're trying to get more businesses over there. But I'm just telling you, it takes time. You know, it might take a month or two of really getting good on your main Facebook before you decide to go launch a business page. So please just don't tie yourself to a business page and all the work it's going to take to maintain that when you don't have a business yet, when you just started and you're still trying to build your network and build your parties and build your people. Just get them on your main Facebook page. They will follow you if what you have been giving to them is of value. All right, it's been long. I'm sorry, but that's my style. I hope this was helpful. I have to go post some videos to my team for the virtual party next step, so it's not going to happen right this second that I get everything to you guys, but I will do it later this afternoon to just give you the links of everything that we talked about here. If you like this kind of content, I am starting to share more on my business page. So just make sure, and that's kind of something, just a tip, guys. I'm going to have a special group within my business page for my customers. So this page you're on is not going to be all branded for my company. I am going to start sharing business tips and healthy living tips and all the things. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Michelle. On this business page. So if you have people who can benefit from that, add them to this page. Then I will create a group just for my customers, and that's where I'm going to do more sales. Annette wants the Snicker bar recipe. I sent it to you. Annette. I sent you the Snicker bar recipe. Hey, Jen. Jen, thank you. I love learning from you. What's so cool is I don't know nothing. I just keep learning from other people. I'm just willing to share what I've learned. Thanks, Linda. But Annette, I sent you the Snicker bar recipe. You guys, go take action on something today. Don't care what it is. Go take action on something. Have fun. The most important thing is, if you have fun, you won, right? I always told my kids that when I was a teacher. Just have fun, and you won't look at this as a new task. You're going to look at it as a new challenge, and it's a new way to grow. So Annette said she didn't get it. All right, I'll resend it. You guys, you're welcome. You're welcome, Carrie. If you have questions, you're welcome to post them here, and I'll catch up on them later, because if you have the questions, someone else probably does as well. And if I ever type my notes up, I'll share them. So have a great day. Bye, guys. Go do something. Go do something good and tag me in it so I know that you did it. Bye.